Hello, Pedro Foiling Sailor. He's here for a short while anyway. And there's a new sign on from Gordon Smith. Good evening from Denmark, you erudite lot.
Lovely.
Bob Walker checking in on his own Facebook page today. Warren Chaucer in Australia. Good morning from Brisbane. Ted Ryman, as usual, saying hi from Cape Town in the Republic of South Africa. We're here in Studio B, as usual, at the Beach Street Yacht Club, and let's get this one through the starting line. Welcome.
No support.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Julia, you were saying no support about what? Is your comment thing not working?
Yeah,
Click in the lower right corner, remember?
I know, but
Click in the lower right corner. It'll come up. As we check in here, we got Bill Wingrove from the Davis Island Yacht Club checking in. Julia's getting her comments sorted out on one of her machines there. And we are live, as usual, from Studio B at the Beach Street Yacht Club. And summertime was here for a couple days, Julia, and then it has gone away. It's a bit cloudy. Not a bit. It's completely overcast and cloudy outside here in San Francisco's beautiful Marina District. After 2 days of 75, in fact, it was 100 something inland, right?
yeah, but it was a full 80 the other day too. Tuesday.
Here in town.
Yeah.
Well, Julia's here, and I'm here, and we want to welcome all of you as we get going here for this show number, whatever the hell it is, 644. A little update from Maui as we continue to watch this. Some good news today, actually. The number of people unaccounted for in Maui has dropped. I mean, yesterday, Julia, they were talking about
1,000 still.
first they were talking about 850 or something, and then the number was up over 1,000 again, and they're obviously they can't control their lists. And then the good news today, they're reporting, at least NPR is, that now it's down to something like half of that, 388 now.
Which is better.
The number of people listed as unaccounted for after the August 8th, hard to believe that's 2 weeks ago, 15, 20, more than 2 weeks ago, has now only, I hate to say only because it's a lot of names, 388 names on it, a sharp drop from earlier this week, when in fact the number topped 1,000, according to Maui County officials. In another change, the county for the first time published what it calls a validated list, sharing the names of people it says have not been accounted for. Now, you as a sort of Stanfordite would have said for which people have not been accounted, but I don't want to make light of
No.
what is obviously a serious situation. But again, as my brother Paul told us, and we told you 2 weeks ago, my brother Paul, who lives in Maui, wasn't there for the fire, but hearing from family and friends there, he passed along to us that he said there were over some 1,000 people that were missing and unaccounted for, and that a lot of people just jumped in the ocean. In fact, people were trying to get out of Lanai on that one little coast highway to go south out of Lanai, and the croutons, the police had put up roadblocks and said, no, don't go here, you're going to go into the fire. So these people turned around, went back into town. A lot of them lost their lives in their own cars.
Yes.
Some people that drove around the barriers where they were trying to stop them from going down the road to escape, they got out, and thank God they did, because then they...
Yeah, I mean, it was really awful.
It is. But there's some good news. We want to just tell you the sun is rising here in the east over the... You know what that yacht club is, Julia? Do you know that yacht club?
No.
Does that help? That bird G in the upper right
Cuba.
corner. Cuba? Princeton.
Princeton.
That's Balboa Yacht Club. That's their Princetonian flag, because that club was founded by
Princeton.
Princetonian members. I got a letter as a proud member of Balboa Yacht Club, got a letter from the Commodore, and Paul Loubet, who said that our love for yachting and the camaraderie that comes with it binds us together in a unique way, transcending club boundaries.
Of course.
The loss of Lahaina Yacht Club is not just their loss, it's a loss for the entire yachting community. On behalf of the membership, Balboa Yacht Club will be donating $5,000 to LYC, and get this, toward employee support to help them through this difficult time. And if you'd like to donate personally, please visit www.lyc.us.
What a good idea.
Huh?
Good idea.
I thought that was really cool.
Mhm.
You agree?
Yes.
And one other club, in fact, so Bravo Zulu to Balboa Yacht Club in Commodore Lou Bay, but also one here's this club, maybe even got the ball rolling. You know what that club is? It's a very unusual photo of another Southern Cal club. You don't often have such a clear day in SoCal. Does that help? That is the Long Beach Yacht Club, Long Beach, California. Bravo Zulu to them is, as I said, I think they've maybe got this ball rolling about donating for the staff. I talked to one of our FOSI this morning. So, well, why are you giving money to the club, the government, and the Hawaii Electric that's been sued by everybody for apparently starting the fire, but who knows? Why would you give money to the club at this point? They're going to get rebuilt, but it's not for the club. They're giving money to help the employees who no longer have a job. And, you know, it's not for Lahaina Yacht Club. It's not a big crowd, not a big group, but it is a group.
Of course it is.
So some number of people. So Bravo Zulu to Balboa, to Long Beach Yacht Club, and any other yacht club that is contributing. Speaking of Balboa Yacht Club, this is the weekend of the Long Point Race Week. I have sailed in this any number of times with our It's Okay crowd. Obviously not doing it this weekend. It started an hour ago, in fact. It's on Friday, and they race from Newport Beach out to Catalina, which is how many miles out to sea, Julia?
26 miles across the sea.
Can you sing that song?
26 miles across the sea. Santa Catalina is waiting for me.
And it's I guarantee you, it's one of the best. They only invite about 40 boats, and it's one of the best regatta week. They call it week, but it's a weekend, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Race out to Catalina on Friday, big parties, dinners on shore at both clubs, Newport Harbor and Balboa Yacht Club, have stations. They call them stations on Catalina Island. One night you have dinner at one club. The next night at the other. They serve breakfast in the morning, and people go from boat to boat and boat. And we do sing-alongs and have parties, and just great camaraderie. The water's warm. The water's probably 75, maybe even warmer out there. Stand-up paddleboarding, swimming, windsurfing. It's just a great fun evening Friday, and then Saturday morning carry on, and then a race Saturday up the shore of the island and back takes a couple hours, and the same thing again on Saturday night. And then a race back to the mainland, kind of north from Catalina back up to Newport Beach on Sunday afternoon. It's a relaxed, terrific regatta. If you ever get the chance to do it, I highly commend it to you. Graham Sweeney saying, I love Avalon, which is the little capital city, the only city really, on Catalina. So bravo Zulu to those clubs. All of you going out there, I'm jealous. If any of you is watching the show from It's Okay, give me a call on my phone and we'll put you on and tell us how much breeze you have and so on and so forth. Best haircut I've ever had because my regular barber, what the hell does that mean? My regular barber. Is he talking about Avalon? No, that's not San Bernardino Yacht Club. Good guess, though, Jonathan Frank. That was Long Beach Yacht Club. Hot, James Frederick Bland said, hot on the road tomorrow for the Finn North American Championships in Newport Beach, California, right next door. Yep. Right across the harbor from Balboa Yacht Club. Good time of the year to be down in SoCal. Good time of the year just to be alive and yacht racing anywhere in the world. Steve Groover asking, is the number of unaccounted for in back on Maui dropping because they're identifying the deceased or finding people that escaped? And the answer, Julie, is that no more people. It's still only 115 or something, right? So I think they're merging their lists and they are finding out that people they're being accounted for, and they're finding out that their lists were croutonic.
I'd love to see that list.
Well, you've not heard from some of your friends.
No, there are three of them in particular I haven't heard from at all. So
Clark Chapin, Julia, is saying it's somewhat soggy and windblown. Yeah, I saw those. They had some horrific storms go through central Michigan. But, we all talk about the weather. Nobody does anything about it.
Yeah.
Weather, rain. That's a little rain. What are we celebrating today, Julia? That flag should give you a clue.
Yes.
We have a good friend, Ted Eden, who has a ranch there.
Oh, and
In? Can you come up with it?
Ecuador.
No.
Uruguay.
Uruguay. It's Uruguay's Independence Day today, August 25th, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And we celebrate Uruguay's Independence Day on August 25th, the anniversary of the day Uruguay officially separated from Brazil to become an independent nation. It is a festive event that celebrates the rich, diverse culture of a very small country, only 4,000 people. Less than that. Well, 4 million. Thank you, Julie. Yes. 3,495,000 as of April last year, but it's up over 4 million now. Another 630,000 people of Uruguayan descent around the world celebrate their victory after a long and bloody rebellion against not only Brazil but also Spain, which resulted in their independence. For those of you who are geographically challenged, that is the tiny country of Uruguay, wedged in here north of the river and just on the other side from the bay and the river from BA, from Buenos Aires, what they call the Paris of South America. There's Uruguay.
It is beautiful.
And it's, I've not been, that I recall, I don't think I've been to Uruguay, but this yacht club Punta del Este, their Burgie up there in the right corner, is a fabulous club. And by the way, the country is said to be the most democratic, the most progressive, the wealthiest country in per capita in South America, and doing very well, and also the freest country and the safest country. Crime is very low, so they're doing something right down there. Bravo Zulu to them. Speaking of the yacht club Punta del Este, Point of the East, it's a terrific club, has a long history. In fact, I think next year is its 100th year. And Punta del Este itself, which is this town out on the coast, separate from Montevideo, they call it the Monaco of South America because Punta del Este has nice restaurants and casinos and nice nightlife, plus a lot of sailing thanks to this terrific YCPE, Yacht Club Punta del Este, a host of major sailing events for nearly a century. YCPE has been host of many international events such as the Snipe Worlds, the Soling Worlds, the Cape Town, there you go, Ted Ryman, the Cape Town Punta del Este, the Whitbread Round the World Race, the BOC Around Alone, and Clipper Round the World Race. Each year this is off their website obviously, host the Rolex Cup South Atlantic Circuit, co-organized with the Yacht Club Argentino. In the Optimus class, we've hosted 2 South American championships every year, some others, national regattas all around Optimus sailing school. So it's a terrific club.
I've actually been there.
You have? I'm not surprised.
Yes. You
and your late seafaring captain husband, probably.
Right.
And obviously a terrific club. Now, coincidentally, this week, New York Yacht Club, in doing some pre-regatta PR for their Invitational Cup, announced that this is one of only, that is Yacht Club Punta del Este, is one of only 2 new clubs coming to the Invitational Cup next month. And in their press release, they said the enduring allure of the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup is most evident in the teams and sailors from around the globe that return to this seaside city every 2 years to compete in sailing's premier Corinthian big boat regatta, that being Newport, Rhode Island. For the 8th edition, which will start on Tuesday, the 12th of September and run for 5 days, there will be just 2 new clubs participating. The CYC, the Corinthian Yacht Club from Marblehead, Massachusetts, just up the shore from Newport, and Yacht Club Punta del Este from Uruguay. Both come in with lofty aspirations and a healthy respect for the competition and the unique challenges of this ultimate one-design regatta. By the way, I hope we get the Commodore on, as we did last year, with the Commodore on before their the preliminary regatta, which selects the U.S. clubs for that event. See if we can get him back on prior to the Invitational Cup start. That's the Resolute Cup is the regatta that happens in the other year as the qualifier. Quote here, in 2024, Yacht Club Punta del Este will reach a remarkable 100 years of being active, and being asked to attend this event is a fantastic way to start off this special year, says Aldo Centenaro, the tactician for the Uruguayan team. Quote, this is a great opportunity for us to make new friends and give our best effort in the upcoming races. It's an exciting chance for us to show our skills and perform to the best of our abilities.
And I love that the Commodore's last name is like 100 years.
Centenaro. Well, I think he's the tactician for the team, not actually the.
Oh, okay,
but nonetheless,
it's Centenaro.
Centenaro.
It's got to be 100 years.
Cool, nonetheless. It's quite a common name in that part of the world, by the way. I had a little look around trying to find a picture of him. But I think that's really cool stuff, and bravo Zulu to them, to New York Yacht Club, and to the Yacht Club Punta del Este. Speaking of New York Yacht Club, this is one of the nicest photos I've ever seen of Harbor Court there in Newport.
Oh, yes.
As the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup will take place next month, the 9th through the 16th of September, at their Newport, Rhode Island, beautiful clubhouse, mansion, castle. It's really not a castle, but the old Brown mansion, which the club bought in '87 and occupied, took over, made it serviceable for racing and other events in 1988. Seems like only yesterday. Mm-hmm. Beautiful photo. Thank you, Paul Todd from Outside Images.
That's a great picture.
It is. It's looking kind of north, mostly north, a little northwest.
West.
The bridge is off in the upper right corner. You can barely see it behind the logo that I stuck on there. But and you know that mast down here, you know what that mast is from? Some of it is, at least.
The Yacht America.
The Yacht America, exactly right. So bravo Zulu again to all of them, and we're looking forward to covering that event, at least from afar. Let's go to John Emmett. We've got some great news at the end of his report from the ILCA UK Nationals. Bravo Zulu, John. And let's carry on here for the Coach's Corner. And we're going to do two videos, his normal report, but before that, we're going to do a video that he did a couple days ago with the chairman of the UK ILCA class, the chairman of the class, which is going from strength to strength. His name is Mark Lytle, and John interviewed him. Mark, I'm told by John earlier this morning, is a former Olympian for Ireland. He sailed, I think we decided he sailed in the 96 Olympics in Savannah. Well, that was the Atlanta Olympic sailing in Savannah. And he's a hell of a good sailor. And I don't know that he medaled. He won one race, though, I believe, at the 96 Olympics in the laser class. And John interviewed him about the tremendous success the class is having, not only this week at their nationals, but ongoing.
It's day 5 of the ILCA UK National Championships, and today is Ovington Day. So, chap to my left, you sail an Ovington boat, but more than that, you're the class chairman and a fierce competitor yourself, an Olympian. But introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how the day's gone so far, because it's a day for patience.
It certainly is. We're on day 5 of the National Championships, and we're holding ashore now. We've almost had a full schedule. 2 of the 3 fleets are ahead of schedule.
But the sevens, you got ahead early, didn't you?
Yes, we certainly did. We had 2 light races yesterday, but we've had good conditions all week. Not too heavy, nice moderate conditions. Some light races, some moderate races. So it's gone well, and we're just fingers crossed we'll get some good racing in later today, and if not, tomorrow, and we'll still get a pretty full schedule done. So we're delighted with the numbers this week. We've had,
how many have we got?
I think we've about 245 or 47, so spread across all the fleets. Some of the fleets are really exciting. The ILCA 4s now, we have over 70, and close to 45% of them are girls, which is a great number.
That's the future of the class, isn't it? By definition, the ILCA 4s, and as somebody who's done a lot of coaching of female athletes, I'm just trying to do the maths. That's over 25% maybe.
Yes, like we are really trying to promote the ILCA 4 as a boat for both the younger sailors, but also the ones who are a little bit lighter and not likely to get big enough for the ILCA 6. So and that seems to be working well. The numbers are good in that, and we hope to continue that with some good training next winter as well.
And we've been really, it just goes without saying, but incredibly well supported. Ovington's done a fantastic job keeping people in the background. Can you just tell us a little bit about your boat and your setup? And I know you sail an Ovie.
Yeah. So I got one of the first Ovingtons when they were certified as a new builder. And I've been very happy with that. I've been sailing lasers as they were, now Ilkas since.
It's hard. It's hard. If you've been in the class more than 30 years, it's very hard not to say the L word, isn't it?
Yeah. So I guess since the late 70s, and I've had a lot of boats. Very happy with my Ovington. But from a broader point of view, look, they've been a great support to the class as a class sponsor this year, along with our other sponsors. And we're here in the kind of little village outside Hailing Island Sailing Club with their marquees and their banners, and so really thanks to all the sponsors, including Ovington, have made the event so successful.
I can see it's actually their 1000th one, just there out of shot. I'm not going to try and do anything particularly clever with the camera. You just take my word.
That's the one that we've a prize draw tonight for all competitors, and the winning ticket gets that 1000 Ovington.
And you have to be here.
You have to be here. If you're not there, you can't win.
So that's a really good thing to encourage everyone for the social. Yesterday, we had a bit of, sumo wrestling, bit of ping pong.
Yeah, I think the daily prize givings with the support of our sponsors have been really well attended, and it's worked really well for getting everyone together after racing, which is something we've been really focused on trying to do. So we also have a barbecue, which is tonight, and a disco, so DJ. So that'll be fun.
If there's no racing today, they'll probably be full of energy for that. And just going to talk about the rest of the year. We've got quite a big event coming in less than 12 months now.
Are you talking about the Olympics?
I am.
Yes. Well, and of course we have two events. We have the Ilka 6 for the women, where we've already qualified the country for that, and same in the Ilka 7 for the men, qualified the country, and Mickey Beckett has just finished second in the World Championship. So
as well as second in the Olympic test event, which in a way is just as important.
And I seem pretty close to being world number one still. I haven't seen the latest rankings, but he's been a great supporter of the class, and we're really looking forward to supporting those sailors, whichever ones are selected for the actual games.
And great role models for the class. Well, today, as I said, it's a day for patience, but thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thanks a lot, John. Cheerio.
Now, I just have to go to the comments, Julie. Isn't that really nice to see somebody who's an Olympian, who is the chairman of the class? You talk about giving back to a class. You've gone to the Olympics. I see... Where was it? Neil Collingridge is saying, yes, it was in Savannah that he did sail for Ireland. And I think he came 11th, but he could be wrong. But John told me this morning he actually won a race, so he's obviously a very good sailor.
Right.
And in that class, great to see sailors, Jonathan Frank says, of all ages participating in this great sport. And Jonathan Frank, did you see on his shirt the logo? Jonathan Frank?
Mm-hmm.
I think, tell me if I'm wrong, I think that's the Houston Yacht Club. J. Frederick Bland may know as well. Must be present to win. Yes.
Nice.
Gordon Smith, what were you saying, Julia? Sorry.
I don't know.
Interesting to have a class that is accessible, competitive for such a diverse age, weight, experience, and range. Indeed. He is a top chairman, Collingridge is saying. Joe Holtzman, now that is a class chairman in every sense of the word class. I think Joe means well said, Joe. Don't you think, Julia?
Absolutely.
Nice to have leaders in the sport like this guy, and his name's Mark Little, not Lytle, Mark Little. And it's pronounced Little, John tells me. And bravo salute to them and to the class. Now, after that interview, we have John's regular report, and he is, as we speak, driving from this regatta, which is at Hailing Island, which is east of Portsmouth there, or near Portsmouth anyway, and he's driving across to Weymouth. And I see him commenting, so he is there. He's listening to us. At least don't get in a car crash, John. Listen, don't watch the show, just listen.
Right.
And then we have some very cool news about John after this report from yesterday.
Hi, Tom, Julia, and all the Fozy. Little element of danger here, so I'm going to keep this brief. I'm still at the ILCA UK Nationals, and I have pre-recorded because I know the final day of these championships is always rather busy. To my left, there's two giant blow-up sumo costumes, so I guess there's going to be ILCA sailors fighting each other pretty soon. And to my right, there's a table tennis, which seems remarkably civilised at the moment. There is the small chance of me being hit by a high-speed ball, so we're trying to keep it brief. Very good book, by the way, Bounce, which is about table tennis and actually talks about almost the myth of talent and the importance of hard work. And that's something I always look at with my sailors. But today I'm feeling relatively fresh. We had one race today. There was no hiking involved, so I'm gradually recovering from the Hague. But this Gulf Fleet racing, it's a really important thing, so that all the top people in the fleet end up talking to each other and racing against each other, and that just brings the whole standard up. And I think that's why it's so important to have 6 days of racing, and we've had 6 races to make that cut. I'm here today standing in front of the Southeast sailboats, again something very close to my heart. They've looked after me extremely well over the years with the various bits of rigging, and it's marginal gains. These things make a difference, and I just think a well-prepared boat is boat speed for free. And I think back to when I first started the laser, there was a lot of technique involved in just getting the control lines on and off. My particular favourite was probably putting the kicker on at the leeward mark, where you sheet it in, you then put your hand on the boom, push the boom down, put your foot on the main sheet, bent the boom even more, then tighten the kicker, and that was it, set for the upwind leg. And at the top mark, if you didn't let it off before you went round the windward mark, that was how it stayed. So things have really moved on since then, and I think Maximum Southeast Sailboats does a fantastic job looking after them. And this Sponsors Hub, it's been a really good thing. Just, I've said it so many times, but the social aspect of the sport is so important, and the people who are racing against each other now in their teens are probably going to be the people who are racing in their mid-20s and perhaps beyond. In fact, it's very nice to look back at the videos of some of the superstars where I probably interviewed them 10 years ago when they were nippers, and you can see that. And I said it's sort of this myth of talent. It's just about putting the hard work in. 10,000 hours, they reckon, but if you do 2 training sessions every day and everybody else only does 1 training session every day, in 10 years you're untouchable, and people won't close that gap. And then by the time you get to my age, really, if you haven't got an excellence in a sport, it's too late. So I'm definitely sticking to sailing. Hopefully I'll join you on the show, but I may well be driving. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. See you soon.
What another
Super.
fun, great report. I think the theme of the show, when you see Alistair Murray's his awesome Aussie anecdote, I think the theme of the show is community and friends. Here it is again at the ILCA UK Nationals, and this guy, Mark Little, who's obviously an all-around terrific chairman, bravo Zulu to him. But here's the news. I didn't realize, maybe obviously Neil Collingridge knew, and I don't think, Julia, I don't think you knew.
Not before tonight. No.
That John was racing in this event, and in fact, he won his division. He won the Gold Fleet in the ILCA 6.
Yeah.
And he just, I didn't even know he was sailing, and he didn't tell me he was doing well, let alone sailing, and he just... I don't have the whole scores here. I was just able to grab this. I asked when he told me this morning, yeah, and by the way, I won. I said, I said congratulations, bravo Zulu. Is there a photo from the podium or something? No. He says, I got to drive back to Weymouth, and I can't wait to get home and see Lily. So that's where he's headed. Bravo Zulu, John. He has won the ILCA 6 UK Nationals. And you can see there on that scorecard, I don't know what age category M means. It sounds like mature. I don't know. Yeah. Or masters, maybe. That means master. U21, under 21, there was a second place, Tommy Gritt. And then, I don't know, O21 must be over 21, U19, under 19. Ben Alvin, AM must mean a something master. I don't know, but there's four males and a female in the top 5. So M is for master over 45. John is saying. So outstanding, Jonathan Frank. The old guard are holding youngsters at bay. Collingridge says.
Yeah, they've got lots of sport. Yeah.
Bravo Zulu. Good stuff. That, of course, that report brought to you by John Emmett.
I'm so excited for him. That's really lovely.
It is. John Emmett Sailing, get to the front of the fleet. His regular reporting for us here. This is show number 644 for Friday, the 25th of August. Welcome to all of you that are here. What happened, Julia, on this day in history?
Mm-hmm.
The 25th of August, just, a couple decades before the America's Cup.
Oh, my gosh. I don't remember.
Not even a decade and a half. You don't remember. Does this help? Here's your first clue. I'll tell you even who he is. John Herschel, a Brit, polymath, 1792 to 1871. It's a fun story.
Mm-hmm.
Fun story.
Oh, no.
Okay, here's your next clue. Herschel was an English, it says polymath, perhaps best known as the inventor of the blueprint, a process which allowed the rapid duplication of technical and engineering draws by using a photosensitive compound. Gordon Smith says, astronomer, what did he spot? Well, close, but no cigar. Herschel, in fact, his dad was a prominent, Sir William Herschel. Herschel was a further prominent in astronomy, naming the 7 moons of Saturn and 4 moons of Uranus. Right, Julia?
Right.
Don't we say Uranus?
Yes.
Not
properly.
Uranus.
That's correct.
The latter planet, Uranus, had in fact been discovered by his father, Sir William Herschel. Now, here's another clue on what happened on this day, the 25th of August, 1835. The New York Sun ran a story. No, he didn't discover Uranus, Hamish Ross is saying. I'll give you another clue. Man, this one's got people stumped. They haven't even been able to Google it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And the headline in that story in the New York Sun, great astronomical discoveries lately made by Sir John Herschel, LLD FRS at sea. Bill Wingrove saying Uranus takes all the fun out of it.
Yes.
So it's moon related. Clearly that's the moon. Do you all give up? That's the headline about a great astronomical discovery, plural. And here's what he discovered, according to Wikipedia and a website called the Denison Forum, and any number of others. Does that help?
The dark side.
The dark side of the moon? He discovered life on the moon.
Oh.
On this day in 1835, the New York, so this is what, 15, 16 years before the America's Cup.
Yeah.
The New York Sun posted the first of 6 articles detailing fantastical stories about the discovery of intelligent life on the moon. They were supposedly written by Dr. Andrew Grant, a fictional character who claimed to be a colleague of well-known astronomer Sir John Herschel. The articles claimed that Herschel discovered the new beings after setting up a powerful telescope down near you, Ted Ryman, in Cape Town, South Africa. The observatory, it turns out, was the only true part of the story.
Yeah.
Flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, Bill Wingrove says. Yeah, wingfoil. Graham Sweeney is saying he was eating mushrooms. Was he also the first alcoholic? Stingray is asking.
But David James got that right away. The great moon hoax.
Yeah, David James not only is smart, but he's also very quick with his fingers in Googling one suspects. The articles depicted there were several of these articles, by the way, a lunar geography replete with thriving vegetation, rivers, and massive gemstones. The surface was inhabited by unicorns, 2-legged beavers. No joke, Stingray.
And furry winged humans.
Yes, that looked like a cross between angels and bats. And while the Sun would eventually admit that the articles were intended as satire designed to show the absurdity of other popular theories on extraterrestrial life, they only did so after a solid month of sales helped them become one of the most popular newspapers in the world. Interestingly, the general public didn't seem to mind, as sales remained strong even after admitting the articles were a hoax.
Welcome.
You might say that it was the day that fake news.
I was going to say, welcome to fake news.
Fake news. So the great moon hoax, David James got it. On this day in history, 1835, the New York Sun publishes the first of these the series of articles about life on the moon. 25th of August, 1830. It's hard to believe people could fall for that. 16 years before the running of the first America's Cup, Julia.
Yeah, it's not so hard to believe.
I don't know.
You could probably do that today with a few pictures and people would believe it.
You think?
Some people would.
Some. Okay, let's get to our main story today. Some of these photos, well, they're from the class, but Sail World covering this beautifully. And that, of course, is the TP52 Worlds. The first 2 days in Barcelona, they had no wind. Why is one not surprised? Winners of 2 of the season's 3 regattas so far, however, the 2023 circuit leaders, Ergin Imre's Turkish flag PROVEZZA, yesterday, I don't know what's happened today, they're done racing there today by now certainly, made the strongest start to the Rolex TP52 World Championship yesterday in Barcelona, where 3 races were sailed in a light to moderate south-southwesterly breeze. Here's the video.
Welcome to the third day of the Rolex TP52 World Championship, the third regatta of the 52 Super Series 2023 season. And the good news today is we have a good forecast. The fleet are going afloat and we should get racing. And of course, after 3 days waiting, well, Quantum Racing, the world champions, are still waiting to gel their new afterguard, with Terry Hutchinson stepping in on board only this week. Meantime, the other teams are staying relatively cool, calm and collected, particularly Platoon, the double world champions, heading onto the water, having won the Royal Cup last month in Menorca, and of course PROVEZZA, leaders of the 52 Super Series season so far, the comfortable lead. Race number 1 started in a moderate southerly breeze, 8 to 10 knots. The fleet was very much bunched towards the committee boat end of the line. Gladiator were first to tack off and made their way up the right side of the beat. Platoon second round the top mark, with Allegri in third, Vayu in fourth. Down the first run was a little dummy jibe perhaps from Gladiator. Platoon responded, went to the left, and they got through the leeward gate in front, and that was the order through the finish line. Platoon extended ahead of Gladiator, Allegri get third, and Vayu finish in fourth. Race 2 breeze is very much similar, about 9 knots from the south off the start line. Well, it's very close at the committee boat end of the line between Quantum Racing and Gladiator, but the action really is in the middle of the course. Sled make a nice start, lead up the first beat with Phoenix very close behind. Round the top mark is Sled leading from Phoenix, with PROVEZZA in third. Sled actually extend over the course of the race. Phoenix have a little problem at the leeward mark, dropping their kite into the water. Let PROVEZZA through, but they come back through on the second upwind, but through the finish line. It's a win for Sled. Phoenix in second, their best result for a long time this season, and through the line in third is PROVEZZA. Just a little bit more breeze for the start of race 3. It's a very, very even start, and all the way up the first beat, boats are really bow to bow for several minutes. Towards the top end of the beat, the left comes good. In come Gladiator and Allegri in particular round the top mark in first. Gladiator first, Allegri second, Vayu third, PROVEZZA round in fourth, and down the run will actually PROVEZZA stay out to the left side looking downwind and come through the leeward gate with the lead. And that is really how it plays out. PROVEZZA coming through with the win for race 3. Gladiator through in second, Allegri through in third. Penalties for Platoon drop them down to 9th place, and they lie in 4th place overall.
It's been tough out there, especially of the heat and the competition obviously, but we managed to put a solid day, as you said, and we are pretty happy with how everything's going. The boat is going really fine, both upwind and downwind. The team is doing their job, so we are happy.
it's just hard because, you know, there you're doing the right thing, and even though we didn't start well, the guys had the boat go really well. Harry and Warwick and Daggy and Freddie did an awesome job with our boat speed and our performance, and, you know, I just have to do my job better. It's really no more complicated than that.
The standings after 3 races then, PROVEZZA leading on 9 points, second are Gladiator on 11 points, and third Allegri on 12 points. So that's it, a long, hard day on the water here in Barcelona. 3 good races sailed, 3 different race winners. PROVEZZA leading the regatta and extending the lead at the top of these circuit standings.
I really like those boats.
Yeah, nice video, eh?
Yeah.
Huh?
I really like those boats.
And the boats are fabulous. The class is great. It's the top of the professional sailing, at least monohull sailing. People would argue about whether Sail GP's got a better collection of sailors or not, but at least this is what we call relatable sailing that most people, Julia, can relate to, right?
Right.
So bravo Zulu to them. At the PROVEZZA at the top of the list, but also several of you know Tony Langley, whose boat is also a Gladiator, is doing well. I think who said that he was a good friend? Bill Wingrove, was it?
Yeah.
Bill Wingrove knows Tony Langley. I met Tony at the bar here, Julia, at the St. Francis Yacht Club not too long ago. He was here. We had a long chat. David James saying that the TP52 or the STP65, which has sort of gone away, never really happened, would have been good boats for the America's Cup instead of the ridiculous current choice. Anyone else notice ETNZ not foiling during the intro shots? Well, that's a point. We'll get to that in a second. There are the standings after yesterday. I haven't seen the standings today. What time is it in Central Europe? In Barcelona, it's 22:42, so they're probably after dinner or just starting dinner in Barcelona, but there's the results so far, and a bit of a surprise that T. Hutch, has had an 847 down there on Quantum Racing. And we'll see how the rest of the regatta shapes out for them and everybody else. Speaking of ETNZ, they tweeted this video, and then they put something up on YouTube with some audio this morning. Bill Wingrove saying that he's checked the standings, and PROVEZZA and Gladiator are still at the top. How many races did they get in today, Bill? They get another 2 or 3 in because they lost the first 2 days of the regatta. 3 more races today, Steve Gruber says. So that's that video that ETN tweeted out. It was kind of Barcelona. You see it there on the slide. Barcelona, you beauty. Yeah, right. They have to promote the venue. They're getting a lot of money from Barcelona. They got to say nice things about it. Mark my words, it's not going to be, shall we say, Julia, easy sledding. I mean, remember, we lost weeks at a time in Valencia, just down the coast,
right, for
the lead up to the 07 Cup. What else is going on? Speaking of the America's Cup, let's go to a AC37 and AC37 Cup date. And we told you on Tuesday's show that there had been a flying start, according to the press release, for Orient Express Racing, the team's all-new AC40 in Barcelona. They'd gotten out on the water, and now we have the video. Roll tape.
Yeah, pretty good feeling actually. It's been 1.5 weeks since we received the AC40 and the team had a big push just to do the commissioning and solve the little problem we had. So really good feeling today to sail the boat. I mean, we need some sailing session a lot just to feel okay with the boat, the feeling on board and the attitude. Yeah, I think next week and this week will be a lot of sailing session. Yeah, today I was surprised, really flat water, but also really light, so we just managed to get on the foil and with the rib towing the yacht, we were able to do it, and the feeling on board was really good. But I know that in Barcelona it will not be the same every day. We will have choppy waves and some swells, so yeah, we have to be prepared for those conditions, but I'm really impressed about the autopilot. I never saw something like this. The boat was really steady and yeah, really impressed. We just need to make it step by step, take the days after days and just solve problems, find ideas, new ideas. It will be helpful. And yeah, I don't want the team to rush themselves and try to like catch the others, because they have, I mean, so much sailing session in front of us, and we just have to make it simple, be really focused on what are the essentials, and yeah, make it happen in Villanova with a boat in good shape and able to just race Villanova racing.
Villanova, the next event coming up in 3 weeks' time. That video courtesy of the 37th America's Cup in Barcelona. Yeah, I think you're right. They did have to tow onto their foils, but what's new about that? Be nice if we saw them tack or jibe.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be irritating if during the AC round robin the wind died out, leaving these foilers wallowing and facing the wrong way?
Oh, gosh.
Graham, we saw that in Auckland.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that in Auckland. Well, it was their first day, so to be fair to them. Now we got another issue, another interesting video. This, you can see what the teams are promoting. You don't see this stuff coming from Alinghi. You don't see this stuff coming from American Magic.
No.
You know, some promotional stuff from the Brits. But have a look at this from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The headline of this press release today. In the wake of Luna Rossa, the extreme wakeboarding of Nicholas Plaitis, he's Greek, I guess.
Yes.
The unique performance of Greek water sports champion, towed by the LEQ-12 prototype in Cagliari. And yes, we have a video.
Wow.
They're going fast.
That was nice, guys.
So that's the gentleman. He's a Red Bull athlete, and this suit was designed by Prada. His wakeboard was designed by Prada's team. The gear used in Cagliari, in fact, is a custom-made Prada Linea Rossa wetsuit.
Handsome.
In neoprene with
Yes.
printed pattern and polyurethane taping, whereas the board has a timeless design with striking monochrome geometric details and the iconic linea, I think that's a bad translation from their Italian, Luna Rossa emblem that recall dynamic movement, fusing the minimalist style of Prada Luna Rossa with high performance sport. I'm reading their press release.
Yes.
The board was also designed and built in-house by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli to be fast and stable at high speeds. Umberto De Luca, Luna Rossa's designer and in charge of the project, explains, quote, "It is a directional carbon board resistant to abrasion and impact, with angled edges to be fast and at the same time guarantee greater grip during turns." Sounds like F1 tires.
Yeah.
After talking to Nicholas extensively to understand his needs, we made it slightly longer than normal to allow him a greater surface area and to land safely after big jumps. Julia, what's your reaction to all that?
I'm proud of him.
He was going fast. But, you know, water skiers and the wakeboarders, they go that. What's the boat going? Maybe
30.
45, maybe 40, 45 knots with some of that stuff. So they're going fast, but these guys get towed by power boats at that speed and greater. So it's not exactly a huge deal, but okay. Luna Rossa doing some more promo with yet another Red Bull athlete. You know, the other one is Jimmy Spithill, another Red Bull athlete.
He's red on top too.
He is red. What other comments here? Starting up, Windward Passage towed a skier 50 years ago, Wingrove said. Yeah, we could see all those hydrogen-powered team boats towing all the teams onto their foils to start the races, Jonathan Frank saying. Greek water sports could mean any number of things. J. Frederick Bland. That doesn't even deserve a finger wave, Julia. That's just a clever comment. Well done, J. Frederick. Boomer Bland. Excellent. Looks like fun. Brilliant. Gordon Smith saying Barcelona is well known to switch off for days, but have plenty of swell from storms offshore. Sounds like a bloody fashion show. Well, this is Fashion Illustrated
course.
today. Mr. B making some freight, Steve. Yeah. Luna Rosa promoting Red Bull. Yeah, it seems a little incongruous, doesn't it? Now, we've told you this Regatta Villanova is coming up here in just 3 weeks' time, and we have the promotional video about it that came out yesterday. Have a look.
The oldest trophy in international sport, the America's Cup. That's all it, boys.
'14th through the 17th of September.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andrew Pindar. Hello, Andrew. Just back from my mom's 93rd birthday dinner. What have I missed?
Oh,
well,
nice.
a lot.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. Ask Gruber. Was it who said who had the Sting? Who had the interesting comment about Greek water sports? That was Boomer Bland, wasn't
Boomer
it?
Bland, yeah.
Nice video, but still curtonic, Ed Worley is saying. Yeah, Ed, I think you may well be right. Welcome to all of you. We're about 51 minutes into the show, 52 minutes into today's show, 6:44 for Friday the 25th of August, Julia. And I'm very pleased to say we have an awesome Aussie anecdote from Alistair.
Oh, good.
And talking about community and friends.
Yeah.
That's the theme of his 5-minute video today. And that's, well, you guys, you be the judge.
Yeah.
Awesome Aussie anecdote. And he talks about friends and community, not unlike what John was talking about with Mark Little, the chairman of the ILCA UK Class Association. And he sent some photos. He said, look, this is what it's all about, going out on my boat or other people's boats with family and friends, community, having fun, helping each other, taking care of each other. And he says, you know what? That's what we're doing on Sailing Illustrated. Thank you for that, Alistair. And here's his report.
G'day, Tom, Julia, and all the Fozy. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today on AAAA, but this is Alistair checking in with the great community at Sailing Illustrated. I thought I'd give you just a few thoughts, be a bit philosophical, a combination of some John Emmett style coaching and a tribute actually to Sailing Illustrated. I've been reflecting on this at 5:45 a.m. on Wednesday and Saturday mornings as I make that decision each time. Do I get onto my bike and go riding, or do I stay cozy in bed and tune into Sailing Illustrated and hang out with a Fozy? Not in the same bed, remotely. And think about how difficult it is to get motivated to do that. Cycling usually wins out, largely because being fit is really important to me as I get into more advanced years, because I can catch Sailing Illustrated in replay. It's not quite the same. It's not quite as good as being there live and being part of those chats, but cycling often wins out. There's another reason that it wins out, and it goes right to the core of motivation, hence the connection that I make to the John Emmett style coaching and the sorts of things he talks about. What gets me out there when the temperature is often hovering around zero, and I'll send you a photograph of my little bike computer to show you that it does, is simple. It's a commitment you've made to your mates to be there. It's peer pressure in the nicest possible way. It's knowing your mates are on the corner waiting for you and they're going to give you a bagging if you don't turn up. It's community. It's the shared coffee, the jokes, the tall tales told at the end at our coffee shop. And the coffee itself is great, and the coffee shop is a community. I know this because if I know I'll be on my own, I know that it works, this motivation, because if I'm going to be on my own, I struggle to get out of bed, and I usually don't go, if I know that for whatever reason they won't be out there. And I struggle as much as the next person to get out of bed and get motivated. I love riding, but when there's not a ride to be had and I wake up in the morning and I hear rain on the roof, I love the sound of rain on the roof even more than I love riding, because it means I don't have to go. So, John and others, the success to me in training, competition, business, family, everything comes from community and the communities that we're part of. Which brings me to my tribute to Sailing Illustrated. Tom and Julia, you've created a community which has a drawing power, a pull, similar to that of my cycling and sailing mates and other great groups that I'm part of. Tom, you've done an extraordinary job with your technical skills, your editing, your camera and microphone work, the way you put the show together and the energy you put into that. You weave so much interest into the show and you cover so much diversity in our sport, a sport which is something we all love. Not every topic is of interest because we all have different interests within sailing, but most are. The stamina of the two of you has been both extraordinary and commendable. 644 shows and going strong. And we know you are not doing it for the money. We know that. But apart from all that, that's the technical side of what makes it really work. It's simple to me. You've created a community. That word again. The chemistry between Tom, Julia, and all the Fozzie is something special. And I know Julia really comments on that a lot. It's catching up with friends every week and talking about what we love. It's belonging. I know Tom and many of the Fozzie I've met, but there are many that I haven't met yet. But I feel I know them. And I don't travel as much as I used to when I was gallivanting around the world. But when I do, I'll go out of my way to meet with Fozzie. For example, if I go to the UK, there's no way I won't be making contact with John and the Andrews, not the Andrews sisters, the Andrews brothers. And I'll be making those contacts and saying good day and chatting no doubt about Sailing Illustrated. And of course, you're all welcome to come and visit me in Melbourne on my house, my dream home on the lake at Meetung, which I've told you about. So that's my coaching tip and my message for today. For AAAA, train together, work together, ride together, have fun together, laugh together, improve together. That's what coaching is all about. And do it in clubs, groups and communities like Sailing Illustrated. Thanks, Tom and Julia, for all you do. It's been a pleasure contributing to your show on a semi-regular basis. And perhaps I should just finish by saying follow and share. And if there's any Fozzie out there that are not contributing regularly as a patron, get onto Patreon now because I know Tom and Julie would appreciate the support, and part of a community is supporting each other. Cheers, folks. That's me for today, and I hope you enjoy my message.
What fun.
Did you like that?
Oh, how nice. Yeah.
Thank you, Alistair. That was beautiful. And he sent another photo here, Julia. This, there's something about cycling too, but you go into a coffee. When I was back in Michigan last month visiting my parents, and you go into a coffee shop, and there on Saturdays and Sunday mornings, these cyclists are out there together, men and women, boys and girls, cycling around long distances. I mean, they're out 20, 30, 40 miles. I know when the America's Cup was here, the America's Cup community, irrespective of team, they'd get together. And Ian Murray is the regatta director, and Ian Byrne, a couple of Aussies nonetheless, but people from the UK, from all the different teams, not just the Anglos, would get together, and they'd go off on a ride across the Golden Gate Bridge, and they'd be gone a good bit of the day on a day that was a day off for everybody. Yeah. But I couldn't have said it better. I mean, when we started doing this, Julie, we had no idea this was going to be a community of Fozzie. No. In fact, that word came along probably 100 shows in, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
We thought we were going to...
We felt it before we said it.
We thought we were going to report news and had no idea we'd be making all these friends. I mean, I still haven't met in person, as Alistair said, most of the Fozzie.
No.
I don't think.
No, we haven't.
J. Frederick Bland is beginning to plan the OK Dinghy Worlds in Brisbane. God, would it be fun to go to Brisbane for that in 2024? Looking forward to seeing Mark Jackson and my other antipodal. How do you say the Antipodes? How do you say antipodal? Is that how you say that?
Antipodal, I would say, but I don't know.
Jay Rendell, I'd like to try. Jay, thanks for the help. We're going to have a cool interview and show with some prospective Olympians from this country, thanks to Jay. Coming up, not today, but in the near future. I'd like to travel and visit Fozzie too. Good on you, Alistair. Bannerow is saying, indeed. Commitment and community. I think Gordon Smith has hit the nail on the head, as did Alistair, as did John Emmett in his show today.
Yes.
One last slide, Julia. And this is, in fact, we should, if Alistair would let us, I'd rename the show Yachties or Hotties. Forget about Sailing Illustrated. We'd probably have a lot more viewers if we called this show Yachties for Hotties or Hotties for Yachties. Either one.
Well, yachties are hotties.
Yachties are Hotties.
Yeah.
Nice stuff, Alistair. Thank you very much. Yachties are indeed hotties. Now, wait, there's more. He sent me a couple more things here. First of all, there's this. Now, do you all know what that is? Again, it's one of these boats that you could build in your garage with straight slabs of plywood. The deck is flat. The seating area, the gunnel, the seating there is flat pieces of plywood. The hull is curved, but still flat pieces of plywood. A hard chine where the bottom meets the side. Yada, yada. And like the Opti, like the Snipe, like the Lightning, they could be home built. And Alistair sent this, and he said, I thought you might like a photo of the latest addition to my fleet, a 50-year-old International Cadet, a project for me and my granddaughter.
How lovely.
So that is cool. And here's the Cadet up close. I found this picture on the class website. It's class very popular in the UK, of course. I think in Scandinavia, for sure in Australia. And it's a trainer that it bridges the gap between the kind of the Olympic classes, the Opti and the Olympic classes. And this is a photo from the 2023 Cadet Worlds in Belgium in July. And they had the Ukraine team there. I thought I'd throw that in. It's good to see that the Ukrainian kids are getting to sail. And Bravo Zulu to the class, but Bravo Zulu also to Alistair for doing that with his granddaughter. And thank you, Alistair, for another AAAA.
Yes.
Terrific stuff, right, Julia?
Absolutely.
You like that? What a great group we have.
Ted,
Ed Worley, see what he says?
Yeah.
Great project for Grandpa and Grandpapa. Grandpapa and granddaughter. Sweeney saying, I learned to sail in it. He learned to sail in a Cadet. Nice stuff.
And I like the comment which Ted Ryman says, Alistair forgot to mention that the show is very addictive. I try not to miss any of them.
I hope so. Baton Rouge, he says, I was going to say it's a comet. It does. There's a class here in the U.S. that was another one of these junior stars. Like the Interlight class that Clark Chapin and my dad and others have sailed, Joe Holtzman. But the comet is, that does look a lot like a comet. What was Pindar saying, got relatively close to you in July, Graham, with a better push, we will make it all the way in 2024. There's Mary Longpree. We're going to show some pictures of hers right now. G'day from Hamilton Island. She's at Hamo getting ready for the last day of racing. Of course, Saturday down there in Oz with brisk winds and a warm 73 Fahrenheit. So it's 2021, 22. It's nice down there. Also exciting and wonderful. Alistair Murray said he started sailing on Cadets too. Clark Chapin says hull looks like a little too deep for a comet, but I see the resemblance back on the whole.
The engineer
Cadet.
speaks too.
Yeah, that's right. So Bravo Zulu. And as Mary Longpree has chimed in at exactly the right moment, what time is it down in there? So 700 in Australia, at least on the East Coast. And Mary sent some photos. I've got a few from the website as well. But if you've ever been to Hamilton Island Race Week, it's up on the northeast corner of Australia. It's up really in the tropics. So even in this wintry time down in Sydney and Melbourne, it's beautiful up at Hamo. I've been there with the America's Cup some years ago. Had a fabulous time. Look at these photos. This is from today, Friday. It's obviously Saturday down there now, the final day of Hamilton Island Race Week. Magic fast sailing at Rolex Hamilton Island Race Week on the penultimate day. And these are Mary's photos. They have a video. I'm not going to run it because it was tough to get off. They put it on Facebook. I couldn't find it on YouTube. But it is a welcoming, again, there is something, we've said it many times, Joe, there's something about sailing on islands, whether it's Bermuda or Newport or Cowes or tell me where, but Hamilton Island is just a fabulous place, fabulous destination. And once you're there, all you can think about are your mates and the community of sailors, to borrow from Alistair. There is the yacht club, the Hamilton Island Yacht Club, that looks like a whale's tail. And there is one of Mary's shots from on shore looking out at the start going on right there in front of the club. Alistair was there. Yes, we were there together at Hamel some years ago when I had the cup there. And Wild Oats, you get the big boats, you get little boats, you get professional crews, you get amateur crews. It's the biggest offshore group of offshore boats at any regatta in Australia each year, or so they say. By the way, Andu Comanche there ran aground and is out of action, I believe.
Really?
Yes, I have somebody, one of you sent me the video, and I think it was Ed Worley sent me the video, and I've tried to get it, but it's one of these things that's voiced with an automated voice, and I didn't want to run it because so many people find that not so comfortable to watch. But look at these Samora Mary Long Priest photos. Popeye, there's a family team, a crew having a ball.
Yep.
I assume, one can only assume.
That's a great picture.
Steve Gruber saying, yeah, U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands sailing is so awesome. Yeah, Antigua and so on. Exactly right. Look at this shot. Trimarans, catamarans, light air, lots of breeze, beautiful scenery, great background. Sweeney is saying at night in Hamilton, you can see the Salty's eyes glistening in the moonlight. LOL. Wild Oats had also withdrawn from the regatta, Ed Worley is just saying, as we look at Mary's pictures. Some more of Mary's pictures. Now, one of the things, we've played a video on this show before. I couldn't find one this year, but they have a thing called the Prix d'Elegance. Every year, Hamilton Island Yacht Club awards the Prix d'Elegance to 2 Race Week yachts for best presented yacht and crew and the best fun-themed yacht and crew. And they parade by the club. They take pictures. And each year, these get more and more creative, and some have been just hilarious in the past, but look at these.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. Maybe Mary can put a comment in, but it's, it's a fun costume.
It is.
Stingray is making a comment. He's saying Hamilton Island looks so idyllic compared to Uranus. This is my second favorite, Debonair, the name of the boat, up in their French yachting costumes there.
That's lovely.
Isn't that beautiful? Now this, they got to win the best turned out yacht, maybe not the funniest, but this is some kind of a boat. I'd never heard of it before. It's called Drumfire. It's a 24-meter boat, so it's in the better part of 100 feet, 24, 80, 90 feet long. It's a sail yacht built in the Netherlands by Claassen and delivered in 2007. She is one of 2 truly classic 70, so it's 78 feet? No, it's longer than that, isn't it? Beautiful boat, isn't it? And I like the way the crew is all lined up in proper vests or proper foul weather gear, not trying to make fun of themselves. But they've got a crew of 22, I think, on that boat.
Wow.
Fabulous stuff. Bravo Zulu to them. And my favorite, for sure, I don't know how you feel, Mary, but my favorite for sure is this one, the Cirque du Sail. Not the Cirque du Soleil, 80 feet. Thank you, Steve Gruber. Cirque du Soleil, Cirque du Sail. And this has to win the best theme, in my view. I don't know who won. They probably have already awarded it. But Mary, if you know, put it in the comments. Sharp. I think you're sharp-looking crew. They're talking about this one.
Yes.
Ed Worley is saying, gorgeous. J. Frederick Bland is saying, who has a great eye for a classic himself. Talk about building boats. By the way, his Pelican is for sale. I don't know if you sold it, J. Frederick, but I see that your Pelican that we were watching you build over the last year is for sale.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
How can he give it up?
Well, he's probably going to do another one. There's the concluding shot from Mary. That's the whale's tail there at the esteemed, beautiful, fabulous Hamilton Island Yacht Club. Last I knew, Ian Murray was the Commodore. He may have passed that along now. I don't know. I want that clown suit, Graham Sweeney said. Clowns, I'm triggered. J. Frederick Bland. Send in the clown. Sometimes it seems like a circus when you're trying to win a yacht race. Awards tonight for the Prix d'Elegance. Mary Longprix saying along with all the awards. Yeah, it's Saturday down there. Today's the final day, and there will no doubt have a nice prize giving.
Right. I really like that shot because it's the one that really looks like a whale's tail.
This shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mary's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Fellow Balboa Yacht Club member has been doing great work for that club for many, many years, including and especially for us at Gov Cup, the Governor's Cup. Thanks, Mary. Mm-hmm. Another fabulous photo. Now, I've got a video that Alistair also sent. Speaking of Hamilton Island, and when you go there, and if you're in one of the condo, the nice waterside cottages, homes, you got to keep your windows closed. Otherwise, the cockatoos will fly in. And have a look at this video.
A couple of crazy cockatoos have run riot inside a Hamilton Island hotel room. The brazen birds left behind a trail of destruction after two holidaymakers left their balcony door open. The cockies pulled clothes from the suitcases, rummaging through food and messed up all over the beds.
I've been there. They've actually big signs on the doors. Do not leave your doors open because of the birds.
Mm. Have you ever had a cockatoo in your hotel room?
No, no.
Look at them shuffle their papers.
You're really bad.
Never.
Not for a long time. Anyway, they can cause such a mess.
She's the
Just ahead, it's your final chance to be part of our Tim Tam competition. We'll tell you what's up for grabs, how to enter, and yesterday's lucky winners. You're bad.
The morning show on Channel 7 in Oz. I don't know when that was, but thanks, Alistair, for sending that along. I knew all of you. And it tied into Hamilton Island.
That was a great suit she had on.
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was something else. Yacht Club Villas. Yes, the villas. Yes, we are here, and we have cockies trying to pick our food inside. They are quite entertaining birds. Ed Worley's giving a finger wag. Have you ever, Julia, had a cockatoo in your hotel room?
Never. Never.
Hilarious. They can leave such a mess, Stingray is saying. Okay, thank you to Channel 7, the morning show on 7 down there in Oz. Mm-hmm. And now we have something a little more serious. It's Corrector Crutonic. And I don't know if you saw the news. There was a big summit of the BRICS, the BRICSs. And I know that's causing you some angst, Julia, over the future of the dollar as the strong currency, the currency of choice for global trade. But this is a report this week from Inside the Games, and this is not new news, but it's been confirmed. Everybody thought it was a joke the first time around, but at this summit that's just taken place, Putin welcomes the bloc members, that is the BRICS bloc members, to games, the BRICS games in Russia. He's going to host them in 2024. Mm-hmm. So here's the official word on that. According to Inside the Games, Vladimir Putin has said that Russia will, quote, be glad to welcome members for the BRICS Games next year. BRICS, of course, is a political alliance comprising of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And now they've added, Ted Ryman, they've added South Africa. Mm-hmm. That's why the S is there. It used to be BRIC, now BRICS. The Russian president made the announcement via video during the BRICS summit held in Joburg in South Africa. The summit also saw 6 new members: Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, invited to join the alliance, with their membership set to begin on January 1st, 2024. You're shaking your head yes, nodding your head yes. You're concerned about this, aren't you? You made some currency moves to try to protect against this, haven't you? You want to tell us? We could have, this show could be Financial Illustrated, Finances Illustrated.
I can't do that.
No, I know. I'm teasing. With Russia set to stage the summit next year, the 70-year-old, that is Putin, said he will use it as an opportunity to stage the games along with cultural exchanges within the bloc. Quote, Russia, to be sure, will continue to promote in every way the further development of sports contacts and youth exchanges, Putin said. Specifically, the BRICS Games are scheduled for June of 2024, just before the Paris Olympics. There's a little more here. A tentative program featuring 22 sports with competition due to be staged across 12 venues in Kazan is currently in the plan. I checked around to see if sailing was involved, but I couldn't see that it was. The IOC has allowed Russia and Belarusian athletes to return to international competition as neutrals, provided they do not support the war in Ukraine and are not affiliated with the military. Well, how would you know? With the war continuing in Ukraine, their participation at Paris 2024 is not yet confirmed. That is Russia and Belarus. So that's sort of an interesting development. Is this like the Friendship Games? You remember the Friendship Games, Julia, when
U.S. and Russia.
After the boycott, when we boycotted the 80 games in Moscow, and then the Eastern Bloc, the Soviet Bloc, boycotted the 84 games in L.A., and that's when somebody came up that Ted Turner did something, and then Russia did the Friendship Games and threw some games for that block. But now it's called the BRICS Games 2024. I ask you all, is this correct or Crutonic? Should the BRICS go off and do their own games? And while you're thinking about that, I'm sure it really takes a big, long thing. But in the meantime, the BRICS have admitted 6 new members. Press reports are saying, including Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, are set to join the core group of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These 11 countries have a combined population of 3.7 billion. So, the question, I guess, is this correct? Is it Crutonic? And somebody, Ed Worley, is saying, it's harmless. Will the regular modern Coupe de Coubertin Olympics prevail? What saith the Fozzie and anyone else who's on here? David James, cultural exchanges, what will they exchange? Maybe information on how to blow airplanes out of the sky, David James. Jets. It'll be interesting to find out if he was really on that. We'll never know. Prigozhin was on that jet. Drug-enhanced performance by Russia and others in weightlifting is so bad the IWF is in danger of being kicked out of the Olympics. J. Frederick Bland, who just set a personal best in I think the clean and jerk the other day in weightlifting. He is some big, strong boy and getting stronger. Steve Gruber, more like high platform diving, not 10 meters, but 1,000. That's pretty clever. Either artillery shells or Novichok. Clark Chapin saying Crutonic and harmless. We said from Ed Worley, Crutonic. Ryman says, Holtzman says it's correct. Let them go off and do their own thing. Interesting view from Joe. Let them have their party. J. Frederick Bland agrees. They are just trying to get some of China's aid. Well, Russia is the gas station for China and a lot of these countries, in fact. Stingray window jump competition from 28,000. Okay, the jokes are coming now. With the Wagner Group, will the Wagner Group be providing security? Julia.
I think it's all a matter of one's point of view. If you're one of the new group, that's really terrific.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the IOC does. I think they'll probably do exactly nothing. I think probably most of you are right. Probably is harmless. Probably won't happen, but we'll follow it. Let's see. Okay, we're an hour and 20 minutes in here, and we're to the last leg. I have a video from a corner of the world we rarely talk about. I think we talked about the last time Greece. Last time was when the Finn Gold Cup was in Greece. Had a terrific event off the beach there, and we covered a little bit of that because it was the Finn class, not so much because of Greece. Full disclosure, I have a sister. One of my 2 sisters has a Swan 48 in Spetses Island in Greece and is a big fan of sailing in and around Greece. And the Aegean Regatta 2023 is going on as we speak, and we have a nice video from there in Greek. The crews are preparing to sail the third leg. Not 40, I think 45 boats. This year's Aegean Regatta features some new destinations different from the previous year. On the other hand, there are also some familiar stops that always hold a special appeal. Today we sail the leg from Sara to Cardamilla in Chios, and it seems we'll encounter mixed weather conditions along the way. It's a video from yesterday. Sailing into the third leg from Sara to, is that how you pronounce that? Sara to Cardania?
Don't know.
Our beloved sport all over the globe. Intense, close battles, fighting for the first place. Yeah, look at how blue the water is, Worley is saying.
It's good sailing music.
It is. A lot of boats.
Lots of boats.
Okay, that is the Greek Regatta, the Aegean Regatta 2023, and we thank Icarus Sports for providing that video. And it gets us to a Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Julia, we got some good ones today.
Uh-oh.
We're covering the waterfront, so get ready.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
And we start out with a tame one. This from Denise Peterson near Annapolis, who likes to pick on me as I pick on my banjo. How was that?
Yes.
You see what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to learn to play the banjo? You can tear off the things on the bottom, not for a phone number, but no thanks. No thanks.
Yeah.
As we've said on here any number of times, a gentleman is somebody who knows how to play the banjo, but does not. Okay, now that gets a little, it gets a little more, what should we say? It's a little more interesting.
Dicey.
No, maybe not dicey. Just, are the prisoner...
Aye.
The prisoner looks very nice, but that's not what I meant by 20 lashes. That came from Holtzman. So thank you, Joe, for that.
It belongs to Sharon.
to your morning lady. You going to tell her that? You want to take that cartoon? Because she has the biggest butterfly eyelashes
She
of
does.
anybody I know. Julia's morning lady, who, by the way, she's, bless her heart, she's fabulous.
Yes.
She comes at 7 in the morning,
Yeah.
leaves at noon.
Yeah.
And she brings you down here, wheels you into the table.
Right.
I don't have to worry about it when I get out of hair and makeup, meaning out of the shower, and get dressed. I shout to Julia from the other room, Julia, what are you wearing today? It sounds like something from from AOL chat rooms. What are you wearing? Oh, Joe, see what you spun. Now, here's one. Gets a little less family rated. How much to let me win an argument? You don't think that's funny?
No.
Huh? I thought it was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
That's from Pedro Foiling Sailor.
He has a problem.
The guy or Pedro?
I
Now, here's one. This is now rhyming. You can tell it gets a little juicier. I have a confession. I used to be a Christian. Doesn't worry me, babe. Awesome. I much prefer being a Christian than a Christine. Ryman, Monica Diaz, Ed Worley, everybody's. Now, you have to be really clever with this next one. This is a sight gag to beat all sight gags. Let's see how up on the news everybody is. This came from one of our most erudite foci, Dr. Hamish Ross.
Aha.
Caption contest. Get it? Who's the first one to get it? Indians on the Moon, Gordon Smith. Got it? Did you see the Indians landed a capsule, a rocket, or something on the moon?
Yeah?
Yeah, earlier this week. In fact,
Oh.
I've got that is the country of India, not the Native Americans.
Yeah.
So that came from Hamish Ross with a TP, a Native American, on the moon. Well done, guys. And I also got some, Julia. I had several other memes that came from people that I couldn't print. I mean, they were just.
Yeah.
They were funny, but they were copyrighted. Another, I didn't want to get a copyright strike,
Yeah.
but one was just I'm not even going to say it because they're not politically correct, and not that I'm too worried about it. But that I thought was hilarious. Caption contest courtesy of Hamish Ross, Dr. Hamish Ross. Finally, not often I think run this before or something similar. Soup of the day at a bar near you. Whiskey with crouton. And that's from Pricey. That's from David Price, whose daughter Olivia continues. Christian and David are going to we're going to get Christian. They're going to get Olivia back on here because she's doing very well in both her 49er bid, the FX bid for the Olympics, and for her Australian America's Cup women's team. So we got to get an update from her. Thank you, Pricey, for that. Casino Development
That's nice.
Advanced Team. But only for a day, a lunar day, 14 days. Replying to Bill Wingrove, I think it was actually the South Pole where there might be water, ice. I think there is a rover. Did the country of India put a rover on the moon? Wow. It's good. Okay, the drinking show with a sailing problem. I thought we'd end with that. Julia, your witness.
Yes. This would be a good show to like, follow, and share, and take care where you share it.
Aren't they all a good show to like, follow, and share?
Some are more fun than others.
Comments are welcome, even in replay, and we do appreciate, as Alistair said, as John Emmett said, we do appreciate the like, follows, and shares, and we also appreciate very much if you will become a patron, patreon.com/join/Sailing Illustrated. Give us $1 or $2 or $5 a month, because as Alistair says, we're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for the love of our sport and the community, of which all of you are esteemed members.
Indeed.
Final thoughts?
No, I'll just underline the community part. I think that's
and the comments?
And the comments.
Well, Indians do own Land Rover, Pindar says. A wonderful afternoon with great friends indeed. Jonathan, Frank, thank you very much. I got to ask him sometime about the 777, the latest, what's going on with that. J. Frederick Bland, the India effort was actually pretty interesting with a multiple orbit economy moon trajectory, and they actually landed, unlike Russia, who crashed into the moon. Sweeney, I see Sweeney's comment. A rover on the moon, poor dog, there's no trees. Okay. Thank you, THANKYOU, to those who gave us audio, video, and images for today's show. Thanks, Alistair Murray, especially to you, sir, for those very kind comments. Much appreciated. Julia, that's it for us.
Yes, that was a great romp.
It was good fun. A romp. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. It's already started down under, or wherever in the world you are. We hope to see you on Tuesday. In the meantime, sail fast, sail safe, and have fun. Ciao for now.